And here to discuss that and other major headlines from the week, host of the WGN Political Report, Paul Lisnik. Paul, thanks for being here once again.
Of course.
Let's start with the Abrego Garcia right away. What's going on?
Look, here, the good news is he was sent back to the United States for due process. That's what's important. So the folks who say he's a bad guy, he needs to be deported, that may happen. He will now have a trial for these charges that have been filed against him. And if he's found guilty, he will serve time here and then he will get deported again. But that's the way the system works. There is an interesting note, though, that the indictment against him was drafted on May 21st. It didn't come out until today, but it was drafted on May 21st. And the attorney who runs that criminal division in the office, whose name is Ben Schrader, also resigned his position on that same day, basically saying, I do what's right and I'm out of here. And 15-year criminal prosecutor, we don't know what that means, except he was involved in this case. It would suggest there may be something about this indictment that attorney Schrader, after 15 years, said, I'm not staying to deal with that.
All right, let's talk about a different topic. President Trump, again in his second term, has put a ban on travel from several countries after the Boulder attack, presumably because it was done by an immigrant. But that immigrant is from Egypt, not part of that list. Where do you think this is headed?
Yeah, so it's really interesting because, yes, 12 countries, all sorts of many, full restrictions, some partial restrictions. Cuba gets it. So why? And the answer was, well, because of this attack from the person from Egypt. Okay, I get that. But we didn't block Egypt. We didn't restrict Egypt. So we haven't yet had an explanation from the government as to why these countries. I will say, we talked about this a little bit last week, Afghanistan is one of the countries with the ban. And as we know, people who are in this country who we got over here because they protected our soldiers, they were translators for our soldiers, they saved lives. They've been told, sorry, you're no longer protected. And now people trying to escape Afghanistan, again, the people who were trying to help us, sorry, we're not going to help you. So in many ways, I think it's just that's kind of disturbing because that's one country where a certain level of the citizenry truly saved the lives of Americans. And at this point, it does appear we're turning against them.
Let's talk about the bromance between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Is it over? Is it just being staged? I mean, what's going on with that?
That's an interesting question. I think it's real. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's real. And and here's why. Because the things that Elon Musk said, that you're in the Epstein papers, you need to be impeached, kill this bill, meaning the tax bill, all these things, them are fighting words, right? And so I did, in watching conservative media last night, there were a couple of efforts, what you're indicating, Micah, which is somebody saying, oh no, these guys are playing 4D chess. They are so, and if this is 4D chess, and I understand people, a lot of people love Trump and whatever, this is not the way you want to play 4D chess with allegations about Epstein files and all of that. So I think it's real. Epstein tried to reach out to Trump today saying, let's talk. Trump's not having it. You can't blame Trump after everything that Epstein said. But most of the people in their university.
Epstein.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, Musk. Sorry about that. But almost everybody in that world that they're living in has suggested, no, what's going on is real. Will they work it out? Look, you got the world's richest man, the world's most powerful man. It'd be useful if they did work it out.
Let's talk about what the U.S. Navy has done under the direction of Pete Hegseth, renaming Navy ships, notably after gay rights figure Harvey Milk. Right during Pride Month, that a lot of people think that's a slap in the face, but also Thurgood Marshall, Harriet Tubman. What is happening?
So those aren't official yet. And for people who don't know Harriet Tubman, look her up. I mean, she was an abolitionist who saved countless lives back during slavery. She's a hero. She is a wartime person. And Harvey Milk, yes, gay supervisor in San Francisco who was assassinated for his work for civil rights. But he fought in the Korean War. Right. He was in the Navy. He was a hero in the war and went on to do other things. He was only discharged because he was gay. So the Navy, in honoring him years ago, basically it was a recognition of LGBTQ service people who continue to serve in the military today. For Hegseth, he's got the power to do it, but for Hegseth to, during Pride Month, say, I'm sorry, Milk, we're pulling your name off that boat, it's nothing but bad-spirited and, in my view, inappropriate, and I haven't heard even one Republican who has stood behind that move.
It's coming up on your show.
Really interesting show on Sunday. Governor Pritzker is going to join me for the whole half hour. We actually met at the Illinois Holocaust Museum. We talk about anti-Semitism, its power. We do a little tour of the museum. We learn a little history. It's a powerful show. Tune in Sunday at 9.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you, sir.